Hello!
Hi, what's up, everyone?
What up, everybody? So, I'm filming again in the daytime, so I've got my special guest here.
Yes.
Everything going good?
Not at 4.
No, not at 4 in the morning. That's right. Yeah, not at 4 in the morning. So, there's some really good news that's going on in the world that I wanted to just touch on before we start doing math. We've been talking about the birds being robots, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, not now.
So the good news is that if you've been looking at the news today, and today is Sunday, Italy, Spain, and France have had their best numbers as far as things slowing down with coronavirus than they've had like in weeks, basically. I think Italy had the best that it's had in like 2 weeks. So that's really good, right?
Back to school.
Maybe not. I think
Hopefully not.
here. I think it's going to take a little bit longer. Any words of wisdom for everybody?
Stay inside again.
How are you keeping yourself entertained?
I just gotta build Legos, play with Daddy, and go play video games.
And go outside and
go
learn.
outside sometimes, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so now speaking of that, let's learn. I'm gonna do.
I don't know how to do this.
I'm gonna do a math problem with you all, and this is one that deals with triangles and also just deals with angles in general and parallel lines. So let's do this. All right, so this one says two isosceles triangles, and what do we know isosceles triangles are? Those are triangles where two of the sides are equal to each other, are shown above. If y equals 20, so we know that y, and we'll just jot this down here, we'll zoom in, y is 20, okay? What is the value of x? So we are looking specifically for x, right? So here's what we can do. If we know that we're dealing with an isosceles triangle, so we'll just deal with this triangle here to start, okay? What we know is that if we're dealing with an isosceles triangle, two of the sides are equal to each other. That's what these marks mean. It means that these two sides are equal to each other. What it also means is that the angles opposite those sides also have to be equal to each other. So if this is 20, guess what? This is also 20, right? Now we can do something, okay? A triangle is in total 180 degrees. So if we know that this is 20 and this is 20, we do 180 minus 20 minus 20, and what do we get? 140. So we know that this degree measure here has to be 140 because that's what's left over from that triangle. Well, the other thing is that these angles, right, that are opposite from each other also have to be equal. So this Z angle here also is 140, okay? Now, some of you might already be seeing the final steps for this, okay? We are essentially dealing with the exact same triangle in terms of its angles because look, here we've got two sides that are equal to each other, right? So what do we know? Those angles have to be equal to each other. And if we've got the same scenario as what we have over here on the left, if this was 140 and those two angles were equal, we know each of those have to be 20 and 20. And remember, our goal was to find x, so we're almost done. What we're going to do now is, what is the degree measure of a line back to itself? Well, the degree measure of a line is 180 degrees. So it's 180 for this entire measure here. This entire measure would be 180. We take away 20 for this piece of the angle. We take away 20, right? And what are we left with? 160. So x is 160 because 160 and 20 would be 180. And that's given to us in answer choice D. So here's the deal. This question is one of the ones that so many really bright students have trouble with, only because it's oftentimes very different from the way these kinds of concepts are tested in school. So as long as you followed along and you saw that we were dealing with two isosceles triangle, the main rule to remember is that when you're dealing with an isosceles triangle, two sides of the triangle are the same and the angles opposite those two sides are the same. Man, I love y'all. Thank you so much for all of the incredible positive feedback. I'm so excited to be doing these videos. I feel like I'm doing something helpful. And every one of the comments, every one of the likes, every one of the shares really means so much to me. So please keep it up. Luke, do you have anything else you want to share with them before we head out for this video?
I didn't really finish what I was working on.
Your Lego?
Yeah, I was trying to build a Batmobile. It didn't really work. I messed up.
He's almost done with the Batmobile. You're doing great.
I messed up somewhere. So I'm gonna need your help to fix that.
You're gonna have to work backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
And try to get some exercise too.
Yeah.
Very important. That's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna exercise and have snacks and have dinner
a slushie.
and all those good things.
And go and have a slushie.
Peace.